looks like we're on for the show, everybody. Welcome back for our second series of the day. If you're questioning what happened to Mazel's hair, why did it migrate on his head, why does he sound a little different, it's because I'm, in fact, not Mazel. I am Kangas. I'll be filling in for the Mazel for the rest of the day. It's already off to a great start, but don't worry. Pretend like nothing's changed. We're just going to keep the show rolling forward. And I'm happy to be on the show because Solaria, all week, I thought we were on the same day. I was looking at the wrong day on my calendar, and now I'm happy that we actually get to be on a broadcast together.
You can't run away from me. We were planning to be on the desk. You swapped days. you gotta be on the desk with me. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm back. I'm happy to be here. And Desrix, Cubby, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure to have you on the show. Love being around you, man. Anyway, let's get into things. I hear at the top of the show we had a bingo card set up, or I guess we can't call it that. Champ card check-in is what it's called on my end. So
copyright's our thing.
I just gotta say, Mazel totally inted his. I'm like grandfathering in Mazel's bingo card, and none of these are ever going to happen except for maybe Yasuo Malphite combo, and maybe a new pig. How's everyone else doing on their cards? Has anyone gotten anything?
I'm doing okay. I got four boxes filled out. We're getting there.
I've got 3. I don't feel comfortable showing it. It is an embarrassment. I will show it once we get a Busio Ziggs or a Kenvi Kane. I need those boxes.
Ooh, Busio Ziggs?
It is on there.
A support Ziggs. You really think that's okay? You know what? I have
Senna?
support Fiddlesticks on mine. So
okay, that's a throwback. I appreciate that.
I can up you on that one. I have Kaisa Flex goes too far, and they send it in the top lane. I'm still waiting for that to happen.
How did you fit all those characters on the one little box? That's a lot of information there. It's fantastic. But of course, we do have more action for League of Legends ahead of us here at Proving Grounds. One final best of 3 to close out the day as Golden Guardians Academy find themselves opposite the rift of 100 Thieves Academy. So let's bring our attention to the next match in the show, guys, because of course, this is a big one. Golden Guardians were towards the top of the standings at the end of Spring Split. Faltered a little bit here. 100 Thieves Academy, the defending Proving Ground champions, found themselves much lower seed than we expected. Cubby, I'm going to give this one to you to start off. Introduce me, Golden Guardians Academy.
So Golden Guardians, I think that this team is going to be a really tough out in Proving Grounds. And a lot of that, I credit this squad. They have a lot of flexibility in strategies. I'm thinking about Diana Yasuo, Funnel Bot, attack. Like we've seen Tony Top play Camille, them play flankers. We've seen them play 1-3-1. It feels like out of all the teams that we have in the tournament, they have the most flexibility in strats. And I really want to see if they utilize that going up against 100 Thieves today.
We can honestly say they've had the most play time as a team because we know how active this team was back in January. They were participating the Proving Ground Circuit Qualifiers #1, the LCS Lock-ins, and LCS Academy all in the same week. So they've had a lot of time to mend together.
And Solaria, you've even had an opportunity to hop on the desk a couple times with Unified. Have you ever gotten an opportunity to witness Golden Guardians Academy from an analyst desk perspective yet?
Unfortunately, no. Every time I've caught them, I've only caught part of their games, but every time that I have, it's been a fantastic game. So I'm just excited to see it like the whole way through.
Exactly. I'm excited to be with you as we get to witness this together. But again, opposite the rift of 100 Thieves Academy. So 100 Thieves, the narrative behind this team, the big storyline. If you're tuning into Proving Grounds and you've never seen the show before, maybe you heard that last year Proving Grounds did have a champion, and it was 100 Thieves with a lot of roster swaps around. This time, the only returning members, Gamsu and then Kenvi to an extent, because he was actually in Europe with the team scrimming for Worlds and doing a boot camp over there. So Cubby, again, with this team, expectations were high coming into the season.
And 400 Thieves, they faltered in the second half. They had the worst second round robin record, sitting at 5-13.
Yeah.
And I know that, one of the, nice parts for 100 Thieves is that they actually got to play in the play-in stage. And so far, 100 Thieves are 4-0 in this tournament. And I know that from talking with Wixie heading into this match, he was like, we were kind of down. Like, if we didn't fix our play, we could have dropped games, could have dropped out of this tournament some of the amateur teams we've faced so far, but our practice has gotten better. We have better systems in place. We're playing more consistently. And we're starting to play at the level that we know that this team can play at because the talent they have in this roster, it is there. And they just haven't been able to come together yet. We've been seeing that in PG. And they're really going to need to put their best foot forward today against one of the strongest teams we have in this tournament.
And when we look at 100 Thieves Academy, oftentimes our eyes immediately go to one of the youngest players we have in the entire league, Busio. Solaria, as a higher elo player, I believe the highest on the desk right now.
By a long shot.
Shout outs to Solaria's
By a
current
long
solo
shot.
queue standings. What have you been thinking about Busio, this young, fresh talent coming into the scene here and turning a lot of heads?
Genuinely, like, Busio impresses me at every turn. He feels like he doesn't miss hooks. He's always where he needs to be. He stops plays that it's just amazing. Like, I've never seen someone pick up a role this fast and this well.
The role swap has been very successful because Deserix, he was a mid laner before moving into the support role. He graduated high school earlier this year? Wait, what?
Yeah, you can see right there, hit challenger when he was 15. He is an outstanding prospect. Watching him in the play-ins was quite amazing. I was wondering why 100 Thieves Academy were in the play-ins in the first place. Well, that's without the context of the later half of the season. But what he was able to bring, like the recon that he brought against the game against Wildcard, it was some of the nastiest stuff I've seen. He's an incredibly promising prospect.
Yeah, I also want to point out this is actually his first proving grounds as well.
Yeah.
So he wasn't able to compete with Hunter Next last time. And I think that he's someone that we're just really excited about because he does have these freakish mechanics at the role. And the more that he picks up, the more that he adopts to the support role, the better he gets, the more confident he seems. And he's a player that we always have to have our eyes out for when we're watching this 100 Thieves Academy squad.
Exactly, and opposite the rift of Chime, who we're also going to take a deeper look at here. Solaria, again, same kind of general thoughts on the performance of Chime, who has a very different story from Busio in terms of, wealth of experience that he's drawing from.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Chime's a player that I've had my eye on for a little while. There was an opportunity way back when I could have managed him. So I've had my eye on him for a while, and he's an incredible player. I just really want to see his Bard again, I'll be honest. I love his Bard and I want to see it again.
I swear, every time I chat with him, his answer changes on that, by the way. Everyone says, no, he's not a Bard one-trick. He's actually a Thresh one-trick. But I've talked with him before, and he says, no, I actually do like playing Bard. I mean, he's a fun champion. So I think that a little misleading, of course, with the title. But, Cubby, this is a player that we also hyped up a lot in the Academy season.
And I think that Chime's someone that, given the talent pool that we have in Academy, it's really easy for people to get excited about Ayla. He was someone that, everyone had a lot of confidence in and thought that Ayla would be like really strong performer. But I think that Chime has almost matched that. And for me, it's been really exciting to talk about Chime. He's been good with Stixxay and Violet. And I think that he's someone that, given a couple years in the system, he's really shown growth, shown improvement, and shown that this is a support that is able to find engages. He is someone that is a brute force engager for this team, and someone that Golden Guardians are going to need to take these intelligent engages against 100 Thieves, because 100 Thieves, they love to skirmish. And if Chime isn't able to match some of those skirmishes with clean engages, I think that's how 100 Thieves can get into this series and try and take some games off of Golden Guardians.
How does he have so many fun facts? It said he applied for Survivor. Not that he was on Survivor, but he applied. I had asked him early in the season for a fun fact because there was a different trivia bit we did, and he said that his alma mater was actually the school they shot the X-Men films at for the School for Gifted Youngsters.
Really?
What is Chime's life, man?
Really?
Wow.
This guy's way too cool. I mean, he was an athlete. If you're spraining fingers, you're trying to apply for Survivor. This guy, athlete behind the PC and not behind the PC. It's very impressive.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Chime, a man of many mysteries. But with that being said, those are the players we're going to be looking at going forward into this next matchup. A lot of eyes on the support role. But I want to hear from my analyst desk what we think is going to happen in the series in terms of who's favored. We did run predictions ahead of the show. I actually haven't given mine, so I think I might just be adopting Mazelle's predictions as well if those are up here. But let's take a look at those predictions. Ooh. Okay, it looks like, yes, I'm predicting Golden Guardians 2-0. Sweet. A lot of Golden Guardians across the board. Deserix, quick thoughts. Why is Golden Guardians winning this one?
So I still see them winning, even though 100 Thieves Academy have been kind of booming in proving grounds thus far. A lot of growth that I've seen from Gamsu and Jimmy, and Golden Guardians have had way more time to just be solid with this roster. Their play has been consistent thus far, so I do have faith in them taking it.
All right, it looks like a unanimous board. Not everyone with a 2-0, but at least everyone favoring Golden Guardians. With that said, though, I'm hearing that we're ready for pick and ban, so I'm going to pass it over to Deserix and Cubby to get us into game number one.
Yeah, that's right. Get out of here, Kangol. I don't want anything to do with you. I heard the trash talk you were doing on that Super Week announcement video. Now let's get into this champion select right now. We're switching chefs right now, right, Cubby? We've gone away from Chef Chad. We now have Chef Gamsu.
Honestly, I don't know if I can get away from that last series. I don't know how this one can top it, but hoping that these two teams are able to deliver. As if you're just getting here and you miss COG Immortals, you got to go back and watch that best of 3. Those are 3 of the best games that we have had so far. But that's Rex. Time to dive into this one. We are already in Champ Select, and a lot of focus on jungle bans. And I think it's important to note Golden Guardians first pick Rise. This is something that has been huge for them. Ryoma's 7-3 on the champion. He is so good at impacting the map. We've seen him have a humongous games on the Rise. And the fact that Golden Guardians picked that first just shows the priority that they have on making sure that he is able to make sure the map state is correct for Golden Guardians. And under Thieves, they answer with a very aggressive combo, Lucian Diana.
Lucian Diana locked over on the side of 100 Thieves. So 100 Thieves so far in the Proving Grounds have been looking so much better from what I did see in Academy. I want to double up on that fact that I was talking about earlier, that every little bit of footage I was seeing from Gamsu and Jimmy, and it didn't look that inspired. But then when you look at what they're doing in Proving Grounds so far, they are besting a lot of people in their own lanes. They are showing up. They're providing windows in for Ken V. And, you know, being on something like the Diana, those windows are much appreciated, and even further so more when you're hovering this Kaisa.
We could see the Kaisa. I'd be surprised because I don't feel like that really fits what Diana wants to do. And yeah, that's gonna actually be the Xayah. So this is a Lucian mid, I think, for Jimmy. So a very aggressive setup, and we'll see. I think that if you are the side of Golden Guardians, I would start focusing now on supports. Busio, his Rakan's been 3-0 in the 4 games 100 Thieves have played so far in Proving Grounds. He's been great. Solaria was highlighting that on the desk. We saw some of the highlight clips too. I think you want to take away the Rakan and another support. And then if I'm 100 Thieves, yeah, focus down those junglers. I think specifically get rid of the Viego and the Xin Zhao. Those are Iconic's 2 most played and most successful champions outside of the Diana. So I feel like it's really going to actually put Iconic, heavily set him behind and who he's going to take for a jungler here, Desrex. We already have 4, 5 jungle bans that Diana picked as well. 100 Thieves can even throw another one at him here.
Yeah, really banning out that pull. Might even default to one of the Xin Zhao at this point. Jarvan is another highly played one that he does have in his wheelhouse, but yeah, just really making sure that Iconic is not going to be a factor. There's the Xin Zhao ban.
Okay, there's the Xin. For Busio, probably target a set maybe. Or you could target something like a Gnar for Gamsu, something that he's very comfortable on as well. But I'm expecting to see support ban. Set or Pike would probably be the couple options. And outside 100 Thieves, this is a very aggressive mid lane they have with Diana, so trying to get Cryo and then trying to invade from there. Ooh. Actually, the Gragas ban tells me that Golden Guardians, they want Tryndamere. So I'm really curious to see what 100 Thieves does about this. Do they take it away here?
See, right now they will have that counter pick if they want to save it for potentially later. First pick comes through, taking a look at what they have, just really looking at the solo lanes and the flexibility drafted so far by 100 Thieves Academy. Now they want to add a front line to that. They're going to grab the Rel. Been a while since we've seen her hit the bridge.
Rel Diana is a huge combo, and it's good in the Tahm Kench. You can save your Q to cancel the shield of Tahm Kench. So you can never, whenever he pops that E, gets the big shield, you can Q it, takes it away, instantly falls. So I like this pick for Busio. Definitely gives him a lot of ability to play make with Diana. Now, for Iconic, we have seen him play this Rek'Sai a couple times.
Yeah.
And this is a very aggressive mid-jungle setup between Ryoma and Iconic. I think it's something where Iconic, in their first series against EGP, he was fantastic. 9-2-6 on Diana, 10-2-13 on Viego in those 2 games. Iconic was putting up huge numbers. We'll see if that can continue as this Rek'Sai Rise has the potential to blow up the mid lane. And there's the Tryndamere I was teasing before with that Gragas fan.
So the Tryndamere getting locked in, one of the most angriest berserkers you would ever meet. Just what we've been seeing with the Tryndamere popping in is this undeniable split push, this undeniable pressure, this undeniable tower dive. Works really well with the Rek'Sai, who can provide backup for that tower dive on her own accord. But the response out of 100 Thieves Academy is going to be the Malphite.
So for the side of 100 Thieves, I think it's really important that Kenvi gets ahead, because when you look at the lanes that we have drafted, Lucian's going to get priority mid. Xayah is going to be able to poke out the Jinx early on bot. And if Kenvi is able to get in the face of Iconic and try and take some camps away, maybe this Diana can get so big that 100 Thieves can just blow the game up from there. on the flip side, if I'm Golden Guardians, I actually have a kind of a front to back with this Jinx. I have the ability to 1-3-1 with the Tryndamere and the Ryze. But I think the big setup should be around that mid lane. You have Ryze in the Lucian with a Rek'Sai. If you burn Flash and get that Empowered Rune Prison, you can burn both Flashes as mid jungle, try and take the Lucian off the map, deny that mid priority to help the Diana invade. So I'm really going to be looking out for the mid jungle Golden Guardians. They played so well in their first series against EGP. Let's see if they can set up around Jimmy and mid, try and set this Lucian behind early.
For 100 Thieves Academy, it is going to be a lot of pressure on their hands because there's so many different areas that Golden Guardians can carry from. You know, we know a lot about the Jinx, we know a lot about the Ryze, we know a lot about the Tryndamere and what they do and what they bring to the map. So stopping those resources, trying to make sure that all these lanes don't come online is going to be a big task for 100 Thieves Academy as we start heading towards the Rift.
And for 100 Thieves Academy, I mean, this is a match where there's a little bit extra on the line. Kenvi versus Ryoma. We flew it in the pre-show.
Yeah.
Kenvi wanted to go up against his old teammate who he respects so much. They had so much success last year, taking third in the spring. And then Ryoma, of course, winning as Kenvi went overseas in the summer. It's going to be fun to see this rematch and see if Golden Guardians can continue to pick up where they left off against EGP. And also, at the end of our Academy regular season, this team had a very, very good second round robin.
I always love matchups like that when you're able to come back and go against your old teammates, see how they're doing. We see it all the time in the Proving Grounds, right? So many call-ups from organizations such as like 100 Thieves Next, Supernova, so many different players who have gone through that.
Chime could start W, and they could try and cheese Kenvi here.
Oh, and they're going right for this cheese.
Yep.
And, oh, Chime. It was a good attempt. Just barely missing out. Kenvi will be fine.
I do really like the cheese. It's actually something that's kind of funny that 100 Thieves did this all the time last year with level 1 cheeses. And we even saw Ryoma set up something similar with Chime in one of their games against, it was game 2 against EGP, where they had Rakan W into one of those embankment brushes, and then they actually got a level 1 flash out of the mid laner. So I think the attempt against Kenvi seems reasonable, as Tony, well, Kenvi's going to lose some health here.
And we're back to this. Kenvi locked down. He might lose his life. He's not going to get close enough to the tower in time, or will he just barely being able to get within range to get through the thickness of that wall, get to safety? But that right there is showing you just a little bit of a picture of what Golden Guardians want to do with this game.
And that's big, because I think Kenvi, he has to burn Smite on the Wolves, so not able to path the way that Kenvi wanted to. It's very important that Kenvi's able to get ahead, able to funnel himself this game. Now, starting on a non-buff camp, you do get the respawn, or the other camps to respawn faster. And when you take the camps for the second time, that is a big boost of experience that junglers really like to accelerate themselves to level 6. So Kenvi starting Wolves Raptors will be able to return to those camps and get that big boost of experience early, but this does set his first clear pretty far behind.
And Kenvi is usually someone who plays off momentum, off a lot of early aggression. These fast-paced junglers is really the wheelhouse for Kenvi. Diego's been one of his number ones, but now looking at Chime, that level 2 picked up right away, going for the engage Violet and Chime. Just trying to abuse his bottom lane of Lucio and Wixie.
Yeah, once this wave bounces, that's when Wixie's able to try and take over the lane with the poke that Zaya brings to the table. But yeah, I think it's important to note the fact that they slow down Kenvi. I talked about how good Iconic was in Golden Guardians' first series against EGP. Kenvi, he dropped a huge game against No Team, specifically that Graves game 2, 10, 3, and 7, or game 1, I should say, against No Team. Kenvi's been really big so far in this tournament. Good to see one of the better players that we have in Academy really step up and play at a level that we know Kenvi can. I think he's been playing all right this season, but 100 Thieves hasn't been having the same success. Kenvi stepping up and playing up huge is really helping give 100 Thieves that 4-0 start they have had in Proving Grounds.
Ryoma is learning about the Lucian quite quickly over in this mid lane. Every time you're able to utilize that passive, get a skill off auto, you get that double up, and that is a lot of early harassment that Jimmy is really trying to put into Ryoma. Ryoma has been one of those bigger studs. We talked about the experience that Ryoma has, all the time he's spent with the 100 Thieves Academy roster. Now bringing it to best that same roster.
Wow, we were looking at the mid lane. Iconic was able to sneak away that blue buff from the Diana, as well as the bot Crabs. So talked about how we wanted to see this mid-jungle duo of Golden Guardians try and step up, try and make things happen. Iconic, at least with the help of his bot lane, able to get up in the face of Kenvi. What's getting very important is we feel like it's important for 100 Thieves to accelerate Kenvi, get that Diana level 6 where he can play make and he can try and one-shot a lot of these members of Golden Guardians in the skirmishes.
You see this pressure of the Tryndamere. I hate it. I hate it so much. Every time I see this Tryndamere, well, it's fun to watch when you are the one with the Tryndamere, on your team. But man, and once it gets going, once that crit scaling gets going, once that sustain, the dives, it is so menacing to deal with. You don't want it to get a lead. You don't want it to start that carry.
At least Malphite's able to somewhat soft counter it throughout this game. And we'll see if Gamsu can do that. Gamsu historically has been this very talented tank player. We saw Concept be able to successfully do that against Doko in the last game, so or the last series, I should say. So we'll see if Gamsu can try and channel some of that same energy on the Malphite.
Gamsu has stepped up quite well for the squad. Now looking at the bottom lane, Chime attempting an engage onto Wixie, doesn't find it. Lucio now running away. The Blade Caller comes in. Violet getting stunned up, can't get much more damage onto Bucio, so the disengage successful for 100 Thieves Academy.
3 sums down on each side, and meanwhile, Tony Top, he's going to have to flash away on the top side as Kenvi, at least able to get a sum away. He had nothing else to do on the map, so good play from Kenvi.
Trying to stifle Tony Top. Been putting on a display over here. You know, I remember seeing Tony Top in the first Proving Ground circuit qualifiers, and some of the things he was willing to do, almost egotistical in a way, challenging General Sniper. We all know his big champion to be Jax, right? That's the big Tony Top champion.
Yeah, that's on my bingo card.
Yeah, mine too. I had massive respect for him when he saw General Sniper's Riven and was just like, yeah, I want to challenge that with my Jax.
That's where it's at. You know, we like when our players throw down here in Academy and Proving Grounds, as I guess much to our dismay, or much to the comparison of the first series here, Desrex, it's been a quiet game one, this best of 3. And frankly, I don't know who this favors. I do like the fact that Kenvi is trying to accelerate himself to level 6. I think that's really important for 100 Thieves, and we'll see Iconic before Kenvi hits 6. He will have one last window to try and get a gank off. We'll see if he's able to set this one up as, okay, here we go.
All right, watching for that flash. It is not available for Bucio. A double knock up onto Bucio. The damage so clean. First blood going over to Golden Guardians.
Really well done by Iconic, but we'll see if Kenvi decides to wrap around. Looks like Iconic's going to help his bot lane, make sure this wave connects. I think a smart play from the jungler of Golden Guardians. We're going to stick around one more, just making sure that Violet's wave state's fine. And hey, good play from Iconic. Talked about how this Ryze Rek'Sai, you have Cryo early if you're able to set up plays. Iconic doesn't need the help of Ryoma, still able to get a successful play off against 100 Thieves down bot.
Beautiful chain of CC on that gank. Just the knock up the bouncy house. That's when you know you got it perfect. You're able to just up and down, make it a sinusoidal. I'm a math major, by the way. Use those words.
I like that. That's fancy. Now, in punishment, Kenvi will be able to take down the Raptor camp from the side of Iconic. And Kenvi should net 6 off his crab. So I think this is where Kenvi and 100 Thieves can really start to look for plays. Because once you get that level 6, that Diana ultimate, it's so important. Those moonfalls, if they connect, you can one-shot someone on the side of GG. And this is where I want to see 100 Thieves, see if they can try and set up on this bot lane. I feel like that is the lane you want to attack. You have the engage, the chain CC from Bucio and Diana. Want to see if 100 Thieves can make it happen.
No pathing towards that direction yet. Blue buff is spawning quite soon for Kenvi, so should be heading in that direction. It's more Iconic, who's already set up for at least the top lane play around Scuttle Crab. You can see he's already making his way towards that river. Getting that control ward over there. Spotting out Wind Shelly is going to hit the rift. With so much control coming out of Tony Top in this top lane with priority firmly in his hands. Not going to be the biggest thing to grab. Not going to be the biggest problem to grab. It's Iconic. Doesn't really want the Rift Herald. He wants Kenvi's jungle.
Yeah, and he's going to at least reset the buff. Now, Gamsu is hovering, and Gamsu is actually dropping out some golden XP for this. Meanwhile, bot lane.
Yeah, Hex Flash coming out. Waiting for that Abyssal Voyage. Goes after Bucio. Doesn't get the knockup onto Bucio. Zap onto Wixie. Gets him low. 300 health remains. Good chunk of health. Able to be healed up by Wixie, but you can see the aggression coming out of the bot lane of Golden Guardians.
And I like this from GG, because look at the mid lane at the moment. Ryoma just wrapped up, pushing in a wave. You can see him and Iconic both sprinting bot. This is spotted out by a control where the 100 Thieves has in the river. And I think that Golden Guardians will actually call it short here, as Kenvi. Ooh.
I'm going to go for it.
He was thinking about it.
Doesn't want it.
At least they prevented a potential dive onto the bot lane, because that's what I was concerned about. That's what I thought that Golden Guardians were going to be able to successfully set up, why the bot lane was taking those trades. Will not be the case, though, and we still have a quiet early game, Desrex.
Very quiet early game, but we saw what happened with our first series. That game number 1 was quiet, and then it just exploded. I feel like this could be shades of the same. We have 2 comps that are pretty good at skirmishing, especially with Violet being on that Jinx. You know, you get 1 kill, get excited, you can tear up the place so well, as well as the rest of the Golden Guardians composition. Same thing can be really said for the same side of 100 Thieves Academy, who have great team fight. Want to contest some of those neutrals, which we've yet to have a Drake be picked up.
We have to have any neutral picked up here, Desrex. And honestly, for 100 Thieves, I feel like at least preventing Golden Guardians from taking that early Herald is a win for them. I think that Golden Guardians, you know, they have this big backline in the Jinx as the game moves on, but they also have the potential to 1-3-1. When you have Tryndamere, when you have Ryze that can follow the Tryndamere, tail him in solo lanes, it is something that you can try and set up with Golden Guardians playing 3 lanes. And Rift Herald, if you're able to take that early, I think it makes it a lot easier to make those numbers plays with Ryze on the map. So I think the fact that that hasn't been taken early is actually not bad for the side of 100 Thieves. There's now Jimmy in.
Both of our highlight
He's in
players
trouble.
looking to make plays into the mid lane. Busio gets knocked up. Jimmy lower. Iconic will take him down. Kenvi joins the fight, but devoured. Chime able to keep Iconic alive. The Moonfall goes out. Kenvi jumping back in with Busio. Will take him down. Now Chime trying to find some vengeance, but it will not be found. Jimmyan traded for Iconic.
And that 1-for-1, I feel like that's okay for both sides. Gold going over to Iconic has that completed Prowler's Claw now on the map, but we'll see if Golden Guardians get more from that. Because, yeah, now Ryoma lives. He's going to try and make that numbers play we were talking about earlier. Wixie, he's in trouble.
The Realm Warp, more mobility being used as Wixie flashes away, trying to use the route. Ryoma just right out of that turret range. Now Chime going to take a different path as he was juggling that turret aggro. Will be fine. Ryoma going to take one on the back end, but the play successful for Golden Guardians.
Wixie almost found that, but credit to Golden Guardians juggling that aggro properly. Ryoma able to get the numbers plays. We're going to get a replay here. Props to Chime. Him and Ryoma syncing up, making sure that empowered rune prison was able to be used to connect with the Tom Kench W. And honestly, in the 2v3, I just like the fact that Kenvi reads this. Him and Busio able to at least trade out. But on the back half of that play, Ryoma making that Realm Warp play. That's why Golden Guardians went out. And that's part of the reason why Golden Guardians first picked Ryze. Once again, Ryoma's Ryze, 7-3 this split. He's been so good on this champion. Good to see him get out of the lane, make his first play for Golden Guardians on the map there.
We're starting to see this top lane begin its flip. The Frozen Heart already completed by Gamsu, already having a lot that negates the kit of Tony Top, that Tryndamere. So Gamsu doing well to survive those early stages, taking that harassment, and now bringing it back to Tony Top, providing that priority to set up the Rift Herald, or Kenvi.
And it's going to be interesting, because I think once we get to the late game here, Desrex, it's almost like each team is going to be doing a ton of damage. I feel like 100 Thieves is a low damage comp, and then they have a Mel fight, which neutralizes what Golden Guardians wants to do with 3 physical damage dealers, and then a tank Ryze. So maybe it's a game where Ryoma goes full AP Ryze. I honestly think it could be a decent angle if he's able to make sure he isn't one-shot by Kenvi and Jimmyan. Maybe all he needs is the Zanyas.
I would just be afraid of Gamsu. That's it right there. That unstoppable force, man.
The rock monster?
Yeah, the rock
Not
monster.
a fan.
Who put that on their bingo card?
That was me. Yeah.
That was you, rock
Yeah.
monster?
Yeah.
Respectable, respectable. Just as a respectable take of this dragon from Golden Guardians. Now setting up for the dive over onto this bot lane once again. Wixie and Busio constantly in the crosshairs of Golden Guardians.
And something that I love to see out of Ryoma, why he's so good at this Ryze, every time he gets pushed, just where he hovers, right? The fact he's even hovering bot, that's going to put pressure on 100 Thieves. And now this is another wave where he's able to shove in. Most likely he wants to take the reset here, but even if he hovered bot again, that's another wave where 100 Thieves has to be like, oh crap, is Ryoma going to port in, right? Are we in a 2v4 situation?
Yeah, they keep leaning forward to try and spot out Ryoma, who was at the moment taking his back, now looking to defend the Rift Herald being placed down, and looking to take some fight to Jimmyan. Will land it on the back of Jimmyan. Iconic not going to follow through with the ultimate just yet. Ryoma clearing the wave. Shelly grabbing a couple of plates for Jimmyan.
Can be even going to take away the blue buff, seeing Iconic. Still have a very slow game at the moment, Desrex. I feel like for each team, like I think because 100 Thieves took that Herald, they denied an early break to try and get Tryndamere ahead and try and get him like in a side lane where they can attack with Ryze. And then if you're Golden Guardians, I mean, you have this big Jinx, right? I think you're okay going late. Yeah, even if you're against a Malphite, Jinx, if you're just able to ignore the Malphite, is still going to rip through everyone else on the side of 100 Thieves. So I think that this is just kind of cashing into the point where I still think in the mid game, 100 Thieves are going to want to look for skirmishes, look to get kills with this Diana. And if you're on the side of Golden Guardians, you just want to front to back. And you can use Tony Top to try and extend side lanes. So it's not as clear of a win con as we had in some of our previous games, but I do feel like the stalling out of time is still something that Golden Guardians feel okay with at the moment.
They feel very okay when you look at this bottom lane and seeing what it's resulting in. Violet is just solo farming by himself, but look at this, coming out of 100 Thieves Academy, going for behind the tower. Not gonna find Ryoma. Excellent with that flash over the wall towards the Raptor camp. It keeps him alive, but the pressure applied I was talking about earlier, that is Violet getting first brick all by his lonesome.
And Violet getting ahead on this Jinx, does have the Kraken Slayer. Try and utilize some true damage to cut through the rock monster in the top lane here. What Thompson's piloting. We'll have to see. Overall, Golden Guardians, I mean, props to them. This is a early gold lead, and now, oh boy, can be.
The knockup coming out of Iconic going after Busio. The rocket lands. Iconic grabs that kill. Now can be pulled back in. Moonfall gonna be popped, trying to survive, but drops. Jimmy now over the wall, able to pick up one. Gets it onto the jungler. Flashes over the wall to stay alive. Wixie gonna use the Feather Storm. It's one down on the side of Golden Guardians Academy, but they pick up 3.
And props to Chime. Chime, Iconic, they're the ones that find this play, and because they were able to take Busio off the map immediately, and because Chime eats Iconic, they end up winning out.
And are we sure? Are we sure? You know, we talked about the Thresh one trick, we talked about the Bard one trick. What about this Tom Kench stuff? Chime is doing it dirty.
He's been so good this split in Academy, and I just love the eat onto Iconic. This is what wins Golden Guardians the fight, because Iconic, look how much damage he's able to pump out on the Rex side. You are one item on this champion. You are massive. Iconic ends up picking up 3 in the back half. Violet as well, accelerated, able to get even more goals from that skirmish. And it's just a good play from Golden Guardians. They had numbers. Chime, they find the play. It's a 4v3. When you take Busio out first, it becomes a 4v2 before Jimmy can get in. And 100 Thieves were just split and got hunted down by Golden Guardians one by one. Really good setup from them.
And you're seeing why Iconic was so promising when he was back in the amateur scene, because he's gotten so many first place collegiate titles over back with Maryville, so many different North American titles, spent a lot of time with Supernova. Iconic has done well when it came to that scene. He was called up so quickly. It's putting on that prowess right here in this match.
And now Jimmy in again. He's caught out. He's got no flash. Goodbye.
Ooh, easy knockup. Ryoma gonna grab that kill off of the flank of Iconic.
And that's what Golden Guardians want to do. They want to remove the outer turrets, find numbers plays. And that's not even a realm warp being required. That's just good setup from Golden Guardians. One ward missing from 100 Thieves. And Golden Guardians, just like that, they take the kill. They take control over this bot river. And this second dragon should be there.
The past I brought up of Iconic, it's actually one of the first years I started casting. 2018 is when I saw Iconic on Supernova. It was the strongest Supernova had ever looked. They kept getting first and second place finishes. A lot of that off of the back of Iconic.
Is that the Iconic Value Squad? I'm going to go way back?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit further back than that. They had a different ADC after Value. I forget who it was, though.
Now, I did say that Golden Guardians, I thought they were going to take this dragon, but 100 Thieves actually committing 2 TPs. Able to pick this one up, and Golden Guardians, they're gonna seed. I mean, they got 2 TPs out of that play. Given how Golden Guardians want to play and the plays they can make with the Rise, with the Tryndamere, I think they're okay with that trade. They're gonna reset, get out on the map first, and I want to see they make an overload play in a side once again. Try and punish 100 Thieves, overextending, trying to farm these waves.
Just collect that tower. It's so low, a slight breeze could knock it over in the mid lane. That is income that's just waiting to be taken and can be safely secured, especially when it's that low and you can just walk up and slap the tower.
Speaking of slaps.
Speaking of slaps, yeah.
Dom's getting a couple in.
Rock his world. What's his favorite music? Rock and roll. Where does he sleep? Bedrock.
Oh,
Cubby, don't stay silent.
I'm chuckling
please.
over here. You gotta be going. Hang on. Is it enough? Hey, no local goal, but we'll take it. Directed down 100 Thieves, and now they're looking for an overload play themselves. Here's the Diana Lucian.
Ooh, Moonfall, the calling following through,
Chime.
but ooh, Chime, right place, right time. That gives me a bingo card, Mark. Thank you, Chime.
Chime gonna save his mid laner as Hunter Thieves will try and take down this bot lane, but Chime, he just keeps on walking forward. No fear here on the Tom Kench. And we'll see our observers zooming out. There is a ward behind that Ryoma could TP to. It's coming in.
Good attempt coming out. Now the flank with that teleport. Ryoma coming out from the back
Let's
end.
slow this down a little bit.
Has not been spotted just yet. Puts out the scrying orb, going after Jimmy, and he's by his lonesome, though. There's four members of 100 Thieves, and now backup has arrived. Iconic coming out from the brush, not going to pop the ultimate just yet. Realm Warp goes through, Iconic jumps in. Realm Warp following through. Ryoma right there, trying to get the AoE damage 1-for-1 thus far, as Ryoma lays it into Wixie, drops him down. Ryoma on a killing spree, a flash forward from Violet, and it is complete destruction. Golden Guardians Academy take a team fight win.
And he ends it by taking down his old teammate. In that play, it was all Ryoma, Desrex. The fact that he escaped thanks to Chime, had the presence of mind to TP, waited out. What beautiful play from Golden Guardians. The patience shown by this squad in that skirmish, so good.
So good indeed, and they will be rewarded with so much. Bot lane was already down. They grabbed that mid lane tower. Now let's take another look at that fight that broke this out with Ryoma.
I just love the setup. Golden Guardians, they know they have the collapse. It just takes time. And Ryoma, props to him. He buys that time, gets the phase rush, backs out, still peppering people over the wall. Then when Iconic's here, he finds the flank, and 100 Thieves, they just have no chance. They have no hope at bouncing back because of how strong Ryoma is as well. Just a beautiful play and setup from them. And that's what this game's been all about, Desrex. I feel like Golden Guardians, every fight they've taken, it's been on their terms, and their terms have been better.
His Rise is looking so good, 4-0-5 thus far, and now looking to bring that lead over towards the top side. Gamsu realizing he's no longer alone in this top end. Unstoppable force will keep him alive, though. Even Chime was rotating up there.
I mean, he's fine. He just walks out with the ultimate. Honestly, it's not bad for 100 Thieves because this is going to be a trade. Jimmy is going to pick up that bot turret. Now, we'll see how much else Golden Guardians can get. What I like about this play from Golden Guardians, they drop this top when they have camps to take. Look at Iconic. He's taking away the Krugs. They can move over and take the red buff as well. They're going to get a second charge, too. So, once again, Golden Guardians, really good map play coming out of them. And this is a 4.5k gold lead. And it really just feels like it's through Golden Guardians having these superior setups.
And Ryoma, who's been carrying for a good chunk of this game, Shelly charging towards that tower. All that gold was funneled onto him, so he's getting even stronger. He's exponentiating even more.
His Rise, there's a reason that Golden Guardians first picked this. Also a reason that I put it on my champs card as well. But it's been so good this year. It's been so good for this team. His ability to just pilot out lane states fine, and then get in positions where his team is favored as the game goes on. Gets Prio, is able to help out his sides. It's too good. I mean, Golden Guardians, he's 7-3 on the champ. He's putting up insane numbers on it the entire split. And the fact that teams keep on giving it over to him, they know the Golden Guardians is going to first pick this champion. 100 Thieves thought they could take it down with Diana Lucian, but it's just not enough. Ryoma's too good.
And now 22 minutes into this game, 3-item Rise is now complete, going deep into that tank route with the Everfrost on top of it. So Ryoma is prime and ready for any of these fights that's coming up. One might come up soon, 20 seconds until that Cloud Drake spawns. Is Iconic watching with the
rock,
tremor
though.
sense.
Yeah.
Not
You don't want
really
the
sure.
rock. It's like Halloween candy. You never want to open up the rock. That's what Rek'Sai's thinking right there.
I was thinking Dwayne Johnson. I was going a completely different route.
Like, he goes over the wall. It's like, oh, I got a rock. You never want the rock. This is what you want. You want the Realm Warp. Holy cow.
Ooh, oh, 3 members of Golden Guardians joining the fight right away. The flash forward coming out from Tony Top chases down Wixie and will delete him. Iconic finds another one. Jimmy and falling at his hands. The Void Queen is ripping apart the team fight. 100 Thieves are getting routed. Gamsu's able to turn one, but it's far too late. Busio over the wall. Golden Guardians Academy, goodness gracious, off that Realm Warp, they start a team fight in a heartbeat.
And this is why they first picked Rise. How good was that setup from Ryoma and friends is they poured in, and this is exactly how you want to fight against a Malphite. Just come at 5 different angles. Gamsu never has any opportunity to find any ult in this one. As look at this, they split Jimmy off, Gamsu is forced to TP late, and then what does Gamsu have for ult choices? Like, no one. He's only going to pick one member at any point. 100 Thieves They take one step out of line. GGA, they use the Realm Warp, and they rout them.
That Realm Warp was so ballsy, Cubby, but
so
I
good.
love it. He was that far ahead, right? Just moments ago, we had mentioned his build. He's finished his 3 items. He is the tank, he is the front line, and he is the carry.
Ryoma's just doing it all in this game. With some assists from Chime, I must say. 0-1-13 on the Kench. Chime has been in the right spots at the right time. And, God, I mean, the way the Golden Guardians have just been finding these angles, 100 Thieves has no answer to SRX.
None whatsoever. No way to answer this trick that's
that's
been
a good
started
one.
up unless
That's a
you
real
go
good
right
answer.
after Violet. One drop, the ADC not going to be available for Golden Guardians. Ryoma coming in the wings will be spotted out with a ward as Tony Top avoids the calling, sliding away from Jimmy. And still though, 100 Thieves Academy haven't gotten priority over this Drake area. The Drake was grabbed and picked up by Golden Guardians.
It is what they need to do, though. It's about finding the skirmishes with Kenby's Diana. And that was a really nice setup from 100 Thieves. Liked how they were able to find Violet out of position. It will at least slow down Golden Guardians a bit, but Ryoma's still taking turrets in the side. That's another inner falling, and the gold lead just keeps on growing.
Oh, now going after Wixie, throwing out the
Realm
chicken.
Warp.
Iconic shows up. There is the knockup using the Feather Storm, but there's 4 members right there. Tony Top almost going down. Burns the ultimate from the damage. Wasn't expecting that out of Wixie, but the hunt continues. Iconic going after Busio. There's the knockup. There's another guaranteed kill. They're just running down the members of 100 Thieves Academy, and they want to grab Jimmy in as well. Ryoma, the disrespect, throws down the Everfrost, everything. Jimmy and falls. Golden Guardians Academy are just playing with their food at this point, Cubby.
Oh, I think Ryoma just said, do not give me my champion. I am not allowed to play Ryze. Why are you giving me this champ, man? Look what I can do. Oh my goodness, the angles from Ryoma. He is just dictating everything in this game, Desrex. He has been way too good on the Rise.
There's a reason he's got OPL titles under his belt. The wealth of experience he brings not only bolsters a lot of these squads who are coming up in this Golden Guardians roster, but brings the experience to take the fight to 100 Thieves Academy. So far, so good for Ryoma.
And if you're 100 Thieves Academy at this point, what is your game plan for game 2? Because that is really what it feels like. You cannot give Ryoma first pick Rise. I know that red side, that's been the choice aside that pretty much every team in this tournament has had on this patch. Golden Guardians, they had a pick for this game. They had the higher seed. They took blue. And I think they took blue because of the Rise. Because they know if Ryoma gets this champ, their odds of winning are so high. 6-0-10. Every Realm Warp has just been destroying the Thieves, tearing them apart from the inside. And now we'll see Violet's really far up.
Ooh, this is brutal right here. Violet looking to back off, trying to heal up off these minions. Wixie trying to find his mark with the feathers, not going to get it. Can be over the wall, can't mark Violet. Violet will be fine, but the rest of Golden Guardians Academy are gaining control over this blue buff side jungle of 100 Thieves Academy to enable Tony Top to continue with this side lane pressure in the bot lane.
And another Realm Warp comes in. Ryoma's hunting.
Ryoma shows up once again.
Old
Super
teammate.
Mega Death Rocket, all for nothing at this point. Dead to rises. Can be no. He flashes away, will survive. Busio sacrifices his life to be able to get him to live. Now Tony Top trying to walk away from this one. Going to use the Undying Rage. Slides on out of that team fight. And Golden Guardians, they dictate the pace of these fights as they see fit. And they see fit to continue it onto 100 Thieves Academy. There's the ultimate going to be popped going after Jimin, who slides away and will take down Iconic. But Iconic does have the revive. He does have the Guardian Angel. He can continue. The feathers come out. A lot of kite coming out from 100 Thieves Academy so far. No ultimate available for Tony Top this time, but Iconic will secure one onto Wixie. The knockup going for Gamsu. Etherfrost finds the route, and Kenfi is destroyed. Goodness gracious, Cubby Ryoma is legendary.
And it's just a route. Golden Guardians, there's nothing the Thieves can do. The angles, the paths that you can take with the Rise, with the Rek'Sai. 100 Thieves do not have an answer. This game one's going over to GG.
All right, Busio, the last stand coming out from 100 Thieves Academy. They're not going to stand anymore. Their base is forfeit. Golden Guardians, a strong performance in this game number 1 to take it to 100 Thieves Academy. Even going to Realm Warp into the respawn. What a stylish way to close it out.
That's the party warp right there. Just get in the enemy team base. Everyone hop in. Minions, champions, doesn't matter, man. We got to go celebrate. as, oh my goodness, what a game from Ryoma. And I got to shout out Iconic too. That Rek'Sai, 10, 2, and 7. We shared the score lines that Iconic had in the first round they played against EGP. He was massive in those 2 games. Iconic's keeping it up against one of the best junglers that we have. It's been a lot of help from Chime and Ryoma. I feel like the map setup that Golden Guardians had, the way they were able to play that out, there was never a fight they took where they didn't have numbers, where they didn't have a better setup. And that's why I think Golden Guardians are such a tough out in this tournament, because the way they play the map with so many different strategies, it's so good.
Never again. Never again is Rise going over Ryoma. In the first 2 letters already match. There's enough Rise for this match. You got to ban it away. You can't let him on that champion because goodness gracious, from the start of the game, he was already controlling the lane, and that really just opened up the windows for Golden Guardians to take over.
What a game from GGA. This is their second round they're playing in Proving Grounds. It's the first one against an Academy squad. This team, they're at one point top of the standings. They had to bounce back after getting 3-0'd by Hunter Next, by the way, in the first OQ. The amount of growth that this team has had from then to now, I know that every single member of this team at least has a year of Academy under their belts. Most has more. But like watching these guys grow, it's been really fun to see. Of course, from like all different walks. Iconic Chime, of course, had some LCS games last year. Violet was representing OPL at Worlds. And this team had to come together again. I keep in mind Violet, late edition, but Golden Guardians, they feel like they have not missed a beat with this new marksman. And as long as Ryoma and Chime are at the helm, it's going to be tough to beat these guys.
Tremendous performance in this game number 1. Are they going to take it over with the quick 2-0 sweep? Performances like that, it's very much believable. We'll see. 100 Thieves Academy can snap back, but for right now, we're going to throw it to a short break. When we return, Kangas and Solaria will rejoin you to break down that game.